Hello, my good friends. This is Amanda, and I am here with my friend Ben over in Scotland, and we are
Hello.
doing a challenge, I guess. I don't know. Would you call it a challenge?
Yeah, it depends who you picked for me. It could be a
Yeah.
definite challenge.
Okay, so we are doing a smash or pass challenge. This has been going around BookTube. I saw Jack from, I don't remember his last name, but I don't know. His channel is like Jack in the Books, and then he's got another one. He's British, and he did it where he did actual books. But the one that inspired us to do it was from Emma, and she's Canadian. I don't know her last name. Emma, Emmy, whatever. So she did that with one of her friends. Now we're gonna do this. So we decide whether we are going to smash or pass these people up. So Ben, introduce yourself real quick, and we will get started.
Hi, I'm Ben from Scotland. Contemplating BookTube, start a channel for about a year now. Finally, s- filming the first video, so I thought this is a great way to break into it with a good old smasher pass.
Yes, definitely. And you will see British spelling, I guess. I didn't anticipate that on Ben's. And you will see American spelling on mine. So good English lesson here. Ben works in science. You guys know I'm an inner city English teacher, so this is going to be fun. This will not be shown to my students ever. Okay, you ready to click the button?
Yeah,
Okay, first of all, I love your background. It's very Royal Navy with the plume and the scuba thing. So we are going to start. Oh,
yeah.
goodness. All right, go ahead,
So my
explain, and we'll get started.
so my first choice for you is Haymitch from the Hunger Games. Now, I thought Haymitch is a good one for Smash or Pass because he's got a soft heart, he's kind, he's got brains and brawn. He uses that to win his Hunger Games. He's willing to stick up for those he cares about, and he's also that strong silent type, which means that like you can do all the talking, he'll just sit and watch from a distance, pensive. However, some of his cons is he does like to drink his feelings, especially if we're going from the start of the Hunger Games. He's a bit broken. And then as the Hunger Games goes on, he gets a little too focused on the revolution. He would put you to the side. His focus would be the revolution, and sadly, you would also have to live in Panam, especially District 12, which is doesn't look like the nicest, funnest place to live.
I think, I think I'm gonna go with Smash on this. I like the
Good.
soft heart and the brains and brawn, and the strong and silent type, along with drinking his feelings, means he can sit there and be quiet, and instead of spilling his feelings to me, he can spill it to someone else.
Yeah, and plus, look in the corner. He's in a lovely, stylish suit.
Exactly, exactly. Maybe a little old, but that's okay. Everyone gets old. Okay, you ready to go to the next one?
Yeah. Yes.
Lancel. Oh,
So, oh yeah. So this one is Lancelot, specifically the Winter King, because everything else Lancelot in is he tends to be good. So the pros for Lancelot here is he's rich. His brother is really nice. I mean, his brother is one of the best characters. He's got land and a title. He'll spend all his free time at war, so you won't need to ever see him. And according to other characters, he's handsome. He only has a few cons. He's a man child. He's spoiled. He's a brat. He's not really a good fighter. He's a coward, an idiot. He's just the worst. And Derfel hates him, which means that you wouldn't be able to be friends with Derfel if you were to marry him. It's
I'm
just
gonna
a small
go.
list of cons.
I'm gonna pass up Lancelot. He's too annoying. Even if he's gone, I feel like if he left, I kind of like wouldn't want him to come back, whether that's good or bad, as far as his end. If he just decides he goes and he's like, I'm gonna spend the rest of my life in the military and I'm done with you, or if he just like gets it, I have a feeling the longer I've been away from him, the more I'm going to miss being away from him.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, we good. Oh goodness.
Yeah,
I
so
was
this one's
reading this today.
Askeladd.
It's
Now this
right
one I was
here.
that's how I saw it. I saw you had
Yeah.
updated it and I was like, oh
Yep.
yes.
Yep.
So
Okay.
the pros for Askeladd, skilled warrior, great leader. He's also wealthy. He cares for his men. He's an excellent strategist, so you know that you'd be on the winning side. He's well renowned, so everyone would know who you and Askeladd are. He's charming, like when he wants to be, and he's quick witted. His cons, however, are he's a little bit power hungry. He doesn't tend to listen to subordinates. He fights dirty, and there is a high chance he might betray you.
I'm gonna go with pass. The not willing to listen to other people is quite annoying. It's one of the most least
Yeah,
attractive traits in a human being for me. Definitely. And I definitely feel
yeah,
like this would be a guy who would speak for me. He would put words in my mouth. I would say something like, you know, I don't think that crown looks good on you. Oh, so I'm not meant to be a king? No, the crown is ugly. You think I'm ugly as a king. I feel like that would happen.
yes, that is Askeladd to a fault.
So how many have I smashed and how many have I passed? I've smashed one, right?
Smashed one, passed two.
Okay. Moving on.
Oh, so you've got Bigby Wolf here. And
Yeah.
I chose for the art for this one. I went the range of different art where you've got handsome
Let me
Bigby in
move
one
this
corner,
thing. Oh, there we go. I like
whatever
that
that
one.
Bigby is in the middle, whatever that Bigby is in the middle. So the pros for Bigby is he's loyal. Deep down, he has a good heart. He's got his wolf strength to help you in battles. You know he'd be great to go drinking with. He seems like he'd be a fun, and he'd be protective, so you know that he would be there if you needed him. I would also say he's a good listener because Snow White tends to dump on him.
Yeah.
However, he'll sadly always come second to Snow White. I think he always puts everything aside for Snow White. He can be a bit too focused on his goals,
Mhm.
especially at the start. He's very headstrong. He might turn his back to his that's meant to be old ways, back to his old ways, and then might eat you because he's a wolf. Thus, you're always playing with fire, and he does smoke every second of every day. Like every scene, he's got a cigarette.
I'm gonna pass this one up. I don't think I could ever come second to Snow White. I feel like I mean,
Yeah,
no, no, definitely. I would not be the other woman ever. So that is one smash and now three passes.
yes. Apparently, I'm
Okay,
very bad at picking men.
here we go. I knew it.
Oh, yeah,
Sorry, I'm scaring my
yeah.
pigs. I knew she'd be on here. Oh my god. Okay,
Of
go
course,
ahead.
Maud. She's a classic.
Yeah.
She's from Ken Follett's Full of Giants.
Yes, sir.
She's camp, fun, life of the party. Has a wealthy background, so you'd see high society. She's a consummate professional, especially in opera houses. She knows how to get the job done. She's forward thinking, and she's into the arts. However, she might be forward thinking, but she isn't willing to challenge those beliefs in other people. She is very set in her, like, I believe this, I don't care about other people, which plays into her little bit selfishness. She's a
Mhm.
bit clueless when it comes to the plight of people below her. She especially doesn't really know what's going on with them. And she's also quick to temper. There's a lot of times where she gets enraged quick.
Um, this is a hard one. I don't know if her I just don't know if her pros outweigh the cons. I'm gonna go with Smash, but I don't know how long the smashing is gonna last. I feel
Yeah,
like,
I think
yeah,
she's definitely like a smoke in the wind sort of smash.
a little bit, yes. So I'm gonna go with a very superficial Smash for this one. Okay, so that's two and three.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, okay, from the Boleyn inheritance.
Yeah, specifically the Blind Inheritance because I
Okay.
thought that's the other Boleyn girl. That's when he's like at his young charming side. This is
Mhm.
where he's in his downfall phase,
Okay.
his reputation era Taylor Swift, as you would say. But yeah, so his pros is he lavishes gifts on those he loves, including absolute bops that are green sleeves. He
Okay.
enjoys a good laugh, and he likes to have a prank or two. He has big lavish parties. He's willing to go to war for the people he loves, specifically the church. And he's the king, and he's the king of England, so he comes with power. Uh, the cons are, well, he's a bit mad at this point. He has that wound on his leg that won't heal. and has been open for, at this point, like a decade. He's got a large temper. He's quick to execute you if you disappoint him, and this is post Anne Boleyn, so absolutely no one is safe.
Okay. So the oozing leg is not like I can deal with the weight. The oozing leg and his mouth is described as rotting, but he's British,
Yeah,
so we'll give that to him.
that comes to the destiny.
So, but I like the power, and I love a good argument, and I like danger, and he's the king of England. I'm gonna go with smash on this. It might be worth the risk, but
Yeah,
you know,
at least you'd be remembered in a song afterwards.
exactly. Okay, yeah, I could have a whole musical about me. Imagine that. Okay, here we go. Lucian.
So yeah, I went for the one from the Court of Thorns and Roses that no one seems to pick, which is a shame because Lucian was my favourite. So the pros for Lucian is he's friendly, he's willing to fight for his friends, he's known to be very good looking, according to most of the female cast. He's witty. You could easily have chat and wine and just spend hours like talking for ages, and he's kind-hearted. His cons is he's loyal to a fault, especially to Tamlin, who is not the best. He's like most of the Fae, really stubborn. He's also like most Fae when he attaches to people, he gets a bit too attached. He's a bit stroppy at times.
You're
He
gonna have to tell
also
me what that means. I
so
think
that's
that's
like
pretty.
like yeah, it's like a bit like when like something's not going their way and it's like a mini tantrum,
Okay.
but not like a full blown tantrum. Like a bit like a storms off the set sort of thing.
Okay. I don't know
Bit
if
of
we
a
have an
drama.
actual word for that here, but yeah.
I think drama queen maybe.
There we go. Yeah. Or
Uh,
extra, extra.
yeah. He likes to make light of certain situations. There was a couple of times where some dark moments happened, and then like, and I do love an ill-opportune joke, but some of the times I'm like, read the room, someone is dead. And he's also immortal, so like most immortals, I don't think he would respect your time if you were still immortal. But you could become a fae. You just have to find that cauldron and become a fae yourself.
I know. I know. Um, I'm gonna go with Smash. Definitely gonna
Good.
smash this one. He's a redhead, so we love that. Um, yeah, definitely that could easily chat and have wine as long as he's a good listener, and I feel like he was. I feel like me and him would definitely get along. And the respecting time, I can just find a cauldron, so there's no
Yeah.
problem with that. Okay. Are we like at 5 and 5 now? Let me go back through
Eh,
them. So I smashed, smashed, passed,
pass.
passed, passed, smashed. Okay, so I got 4 smashes, pass, pass. Did I just count this one? Hold on. Pass, pass, pass. Okay, 4 and 3.
Yeah.
4 and 3. Awesome. On to the next.
So I have Lan Man Dragarin, which was the
Whatever.
hardest surname to ever spell.
Yeah.
Like I just can't. For years, I've just called him Lan Man Dragon, so
Yeah,
that's how
yeah,
I'm always going to know him.
yeah. Here, let's put
So,
this right there.
so Lan is also loyal and strong. He's caring. He's a great warrior and willing to protect those he cares for. He's intelligent. I also think he'd be good to have a drink with, although I forgot to put that. He also radiates badass energy. Like every time you walk into a room, people are like, "Who's he?" You could be like, "It's Lan." And he also is well travelled, so he knows all the best places to go. His cons are his feelings do seem to come out of nowhere. You could be sitting with him, having no chat with him for like days, and then suddenly he's in love with you because he likes to just throw that out in the blue.
Yeah,
Although he's not in love with Moraine, he will because he's her protector. He'll always put her first.
yeah.
Although I think Moraine is quite good at being like, no, just go away, leave me alone. He's also a tad stoic, and he also gives off the dad energy of a group. Like he is very much the one that everyone goes to for all their problems. So he might focus on his 137 children that he
Yeah.
has that are main characters.
I can see myself getting very jealous of Moraine and constantly nagging him. And because of the stoicism, I feel like he's got a very long fuse that would suddenly explode. And then I'd go lay down in my bed and cry, and he'd come back in 30 minutes later and apologize, and I would just not be ready for it. So on a
Yeah,
surface level, I'm gonna say surface level smash, even though it
yeah,
might not last between me and him. I'm gonna say surface level smash. So we've got what, 6 and 4 now?
yeah.
Okay.
63, I think.
Okay. I'm looking for something to take notes with. So I'm gonna get my phone and open up. So 6 and 4 is what I'm gonna put right now. Go away, stupid notification. All right, so 6 and 4. Okay.
Yeah. So this one is, I thought, who's the best character in his Dark Materials? And it's obviously Mrs. Coulter.
Obviously.
Yeah. So her pros are she's intelligent and refined. She's loyal to a cause. She throws excellent parties. She has a private airship, which also she's well travelled, so you can go and travel the world because she's also rich. She's interested in the mysteries of the world, so you can always go on an adventure with her. And she also has an exquisite taste in food and clothes. Her cons are she's a zealot fighting for a really bad system. She can be horrifically cruel. She would kill anyone to be with, like, to protect Asriel and his secrets.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, she would probably just kill you for any goal. She's a bit mad. And then I forgot to put it on, but she has that yellow monkey demon that is the
The golden
worst.
monkey. Yeah, the golden
Yeah,
monkey.
that
So,
would have to be in a different room every time I'm
yeah.
in a room with her.
Okay. So, I'm going to pass on Mrs. Coulter because, one, no one ever calls her by her first name, which is kind of weird to me. I wouldn't want to call her just Mrs. Coulter all the time. And I get the feeling that as soon as I irritate her, I would be done. And I feel like I would get on this woman's nerves all the time. I don't think she would like me. I just don't. I mean, I like her, but I think she would just do away with me the first time I really annoy her. So we've got 6 smash, 5 pass. All right, moving on. Ready?
Yes. So I went for Frank Randall in Outlander because Frank he's lovely,
Yeah.
he's kind, he's scholarly, he's very into his hobbies. He would raise another man's child, so you don't have to worry about that. And he loves his history, so you can chat about history for hours. He has that nerdy quality where you're like, oh, he's quite cute. His cons are he looks a lot like his great uncle. His great uncle is the worst. And if you were to ever meet his great uncle, I don't think you could ever look at Frank the same.
So Frank is described as not looking anything like the actor in Outlander. The
Oh,
actor is hideous, in my opinion. So
oh,
I do not. No, no. The things on the side of his mouth, yeah,
yeah,
and his messed up front teeth can't do it. But I would smash Frank, definitely.
good,
So
good.
I would definitely smash Frank. I feel like we'd get along. I also feel like I'd get along with Brianna a lot and Roger. So Frank, I'm gonna smash Frank. We're at 7 and 5. Here we go.
Charlie
Charlie
Swan from
Swan.
Twilight. He has that sexy dad vibe that everyone loves.
Yeah.
He cares about his family and his community. He loves his small town. He's willing to put up with a lot of nonsense. I mean, his daughter spends 3 months not leaving the room
Yeah.
because her boyfriend of 3 weeks dumps her. He has a really nice house. That's cute. He's an all-round nice guy, and he's quick to accept weird stuff. Because most people, when they're told vampires and werewolves exist, wouldn't just be like, "Oh, okay." However, the cons are he lives in Forks, and Forks looks like a depressive hellhole. It is my idea of hell. He's a tad clueless. Like, for the sheriff of a town, he's an idiot. Like, seriously, how many animal attacks can there be where you live? Where do you live? Hitchcock's
And have to
Suburbs?
even just look at footprints to tell they're human.
Yeah, he's like, oh no, this must be a wolf. And like, Or even when he thinks it's the werewolves and it's like, oh, this is like a normal wolf attack. I'm like, their paw prints are huge.
Definitely.
That's the
Okay.
size of a tire.
I'm gonna go ahead and smash Charlie. He's very, very laid back. So we're at 8 and 5. If he can put up with Bella, he can definitely put up with me. And I kind of like the porn stash on there. It's coming back into style. In 2008, it was disgusting, but I can appreciate a good porn stash at this time, at this point in history. And I do think he has a sexy dad vibe. I'll give him that. So we are at 8 and 5. I think that means we have 2 more. That's 8 plus 5 is 13, right?
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah. So
Yeah.
Aldred from the evening and the morning.
Okay. So, firstly, these photos come from a different show. They come from Bernard Cornwell's The Glass Kingdom, but this character reminds me
Okay.
of Aldred.
Okay, cool.
So, Aldred is very intelligent for his time. He's loyal. He's kind. He can work out secret plots, which is useful if you're living in a medieval world because everyone's plotting.
Mm-hmm.
He's willing to work hard to get to the top. Like, there's many times where he could cheat his way at the top, but he doesn't feel that's right. And his friends are really good, so they look like they'd be a good bunch to like hang about with. His cons are he's a monk, so he's celibate, so it would have to be a very
Yes.
uh, one-to-one relationship that way. He's a tad naive. Like, how many times does he get betrayed?
A
He
lot.
sadly he wouldn't be interested in you anyway, essentially because he's gay, and also he's very very shy.
um. Hmm. I'm gonna have to pass up on Aldred. He is too much of an idiot, and the gay thing, a little bit of a deal breaker here. But I
Sadly,
did
yes.
very much enjoy his chapters in the evening and the morning. He was,
I just put him in
huh?
because I knew that you'd turn him down, so I could have him.
Okay. All right, so we're at 14. So last slide and
I
Scythe
saved the best for
Goddard.
last.
Okay.
So his
Awesome.
pros are he has a fancy robe, he's rich as well, he's very camp, he has an eye for theatrics, he does love a big spontaneous number. He would most likely be played by Oscar Isaac in a film, and that's a good choice.
Yeah.
And he's aspirational. His cons are he's a tad mass murderer, he looks down on society, he thinks himself a god. If you were to date him, you would be in danger, and there is literally no redeeming quality about him whatsoever. But at least you'd be safe, maybe, because other scythes wouldn't go after you.
Yeah. And I don't know, how PG-13 do we want to keep this? So
Go as
go
dark,
go
go as
into it. Yeah. So they wear that ring on their finger that gets you immune if you kiss it or
yeah.
they punch you in the face with it. Slight spoiler. I can just have him put that in places and I'd be immune for forever. So there we go. I'm gonna smash him. I will smash
Yes,
Scythe Goddard. So I ended up
the benefits do
smashing
work out.
what?
The benefits are worth it after all.
Yes. Okay, so I somehow put 9 smash, 7 pass, which is 16. Did you have 16 slides?
I think it's only I think it's 15.
Yeah, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Whatever. Let's go to the end. I
Yeah.
smashed more than I passed.
And the final question: who's your ultimate smash and who's your ultimate pass?
Honestly, I think Goddard is the ultimate smash. Ultimate smash. I like danger. Ultimate pass. Miss Coulter. Miss Coulter is the ultimate pass. Definitely. For real. The last slide. Yeah.
Yeah, that's perfect.
So you did amazingly in your choices. Mine are like way more obvious than yours. But I definitely smashed more than I passed. And I think Scythe Goddard's probably he's the one. Ultimate pass,
Yeah.
definitely Miss Coulter. No. I can hang out with her and she could be like a frenemy of mine, but if I get too close to that woman, she'd off me because she would not like me.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's a terrifying person.
Yes. All right. Is this my Nope. I was watching news bloopers. Okay. So here is my Smasher Pass, starring Ben the Overlord and Strange Mentality Paper. Oops. Sorry. I don't have a desk, so I'm kind of squirmy because I'm on a big giant
No
chair.
worries. I'm sitting on a bed, so
Okay. All right. So I wrote the rules right here, but we did yours first, so totally fine. So let's go. All right. Gus Stewart from Fall of Giants, and I guess Winter of the World. So I don't think he was described like this in the book, but I remember he wore that straw boater hat. So I just found a picture of like a 1920s guy in a straw boater hat. So his pros: he is American. He rocks that straw boater. He went to Harvard, so he's educated, more educated than Woody, especially when it comes to biology. He is rich. His cons is that his head is so big they won't like stop talking about it in literally all three of the books. He lives in Buffalo, which is probably the worst place ever. Um, that's in New York for all of you not
yeah.
American viewers. Buffalo is like a small city in New York. If you're in Texas, Buffalo is the Waco of Texas. Let that sink in.
Ooh.
He is a mama's boy, although I do like his mama, and he's American. That could be a con. And then my favorite quote I chose for him is: the first thing you'll notice about her mother is that she's very pretty. Second, you'll see she only has one eye. You'll get used to it soon enough. Talking about his fiance.
Oh, I love Gus. No, Gus he was the favourite, and eventually he works his way up in the government, so you know that you'd be safe and secure.
I don't know about that. He becomes a
Oh,
senator. Um, but he's a Democrat, so that's another pro. I
yeah,
should have put that on there. So
yeah.
what's your verdict?
I think it's a safe smash. It would be an exciting life, but it would definitely be a nice life.
All right, so we got one smash for you. All right, so we got a smash for Gus. Moving on. Okay, George Boleyn. This is only the other Boleyn girl because George lost his head in the other Boleyn girl. So his pros are: he's gay, which is good for you, not for me, but he is rich and he loves his family. His con, probably the biggest con, is that he's married to Jane Parker. He fucked his sister and he lost his head. And this is actually one of my favorite lines from the other Boleyn girl. When he's talking to Mary, he says, "You can smile when your heart is breaking because you're a girl."
Oh, see, that's another one. I love George. The fact that he's dead might put a problem on it. However, if I could resurrect him and his sister, leave is Mary's the other sister, isn't it? No, leave her. Whoever I forgot her name, but leave her in the past. Bring a hand forward, and the three of us can live in like a nice. Yeah, Mary. Yeah,
Mary?
we can live in.
Yeah, Mary
Yeah,
was the
we
other
can leave
Boleyn
Mary in
girl.
the past, and me, him, and Anne can live a nice life, and we can forget the whole thing with his sister ever happened. Although I probably would have
Okay,
to
so
watch him just to keep an eye on it. Yeah, just
just
like
to make
keep
sure.
away.
Alright, so we got two smash. Moving on. Liam from Mouse Guard. So Liam is very chivalrous. He's brave. He is a good fighter. I think he was the one that killed the snake in
I
the
think he is.
first
Yeah.
one, right? Or was that Saxon? Yeah, okay. He is a red fur. His cons are that he travels all the time with the guard, and he is a
See,
mouse. And my quote for him is: "You should always aim to be your own mouse, Liam." And I can't remember that character's name, but he was the one who was trapped in the hole, hiding from the owl. I don't remember his name. I do know what to call him by, but
yeah,
it's a spoiler. So
I like Liam's my favorite character. However, the cons of he has to be in the guard. He's also a mouse, so he's tiny. So that's the big thing. He's a mouse. Uh,
I guess it depends on what you're
uh,
into. I
he
don't
also
know.
mice have really short lives. I don't think I could live with like love and heart. I don't want to live in like a 90s film where it's like I fall in love. Oh no, you've died.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
Walk to Remember. So we got a pass. My Discord's blowing up in the
no worries.
background. Sorry. Are you are you
Yeah, sadly
passing
it's a
on my
sad pass. I'd be friends with him, but play a little violin at his
Okay.
funeral.
So we got two smash, one pass. Rufus from they both die at the end. So Rufus's pros are he's bisexual. We all know that men sometimes, I'm speaking in generalities right now, but men who are bisexual are very hesitant to come out because of toxic masculinity. And he was
Yeah,
out the entire book. He's very friendly. He's optimistic, and he's self-reliant due to being an orphan. His cons are that he's quick to anger. I think the first time we meet him, he's in the middle of a fight on the street. He does have ex-girlfriend drama, and he dies at the end. And he is, when we are narrating the end of the book, he says, two dudes met, they fell in love, they lived. That's our
I
story.
love Rufus, but I think he's madly in love with, is it Mateo? Yeah. So I
Yeah,
wouldn't want.
Mateo.
Yeah,
I almost
I
put
wouldn't
that
want
on
to.
there,
I wouldn't want
but
to
I
ruin
decided
that.
not to.
They've got their thing, and two, I don't want to have to keep resurrecting everyone I fall in love with. I'm not Hercules.
Okay, so two smash, two pass. I really
Yeah.
like that fan art too. Of Rufus, yeah, that part at the end of the book. Okay, next.
Ooh.
Lord Asriel. So he has a snow leopard demon. He We know he wasn't the first to discover dust, but he discovered dust. He is an Arctic explorer and he travels by Zeppelin, which Zeppelins are awesome, although sadly we know what can happen to them when they're filled with hydrogen.
Yes, good
You
old
know what I'm
Hindenburg.
referring to? Okay. I forgot you're not American. That was an American tragedy. It's the Hindenburg people. He has terrible taste in women, so I think you could tell that Miss Coulter was definitely a pass from the beginning with me. He's sort of a deadbeat dad. I mean, I don't spoilers, but yeah. And he is an adulterer. My favorite line from him is human beings can't see anything without wanting to destroy it,
This
Lyra.
is the fastest I'm ever going to smash in my life. Because one, his terrible taste in women works out for me because I would also love Mrs. Coulter.
Yeah, it does.
He's a deadbeat dad. That's perfect because he doesn't want anything to do with Lyra, so that's fine.
Yeah.
And to be honest, he would probably kill me to
Yeah.
smother his dust, but it would be worth it. Maybe that's how I meet George in heaven or hell, wherever.
I understood none of what you just said, but okay. You said something about heaven and hell, maybe?
Yeah, so that's where I meet George. It's
Oh,
either in
that's where you
heaven or
meet
hell.
George in either heaven or hell. Okay, good. Sorry. The
No, no worries. I got faster there. I noticed I was like, oh no, I'm getting faster and faster.
Okay. All right, here we go. So we have three smash, two pass, I think. Here we go. We've got Romeo. I sat in front of my screen for a long time thinking of pros. And the cons. He is impulsive, depressed, suicidal, and he is a possible nonce. For my American viewers, I had to look up that word. I think it's funny. Nonce means pedophile. YouTube might get on to me for saying that word, but a nonce is a pedophile. The reason I put he is a possible nonce is because his age is never stated. We know Juliet's 13, almost 14. We don't know how old Romeo is. He's always been called young. I think the general consensus is he's like between 16 and 18. So, and the first line that came to mind of all the speeches Romeo gives in the play is, I am too bold.
So Romeo is my least favorite Shakespeare character of all time. I absolutely despise the man. That is a pass.
Why do you despise Romeo so much?
Oh, he's so whiny. He's so annoying. he looks at a girl for 3 seconds and he's in love.
There we go. We are all tied up. 3 smash, 3 pass. All right. Tamlin. His pros. He has Fey powers. He's purdy. He has a big dick. His cons are that he's abusive. The pointy ears. Those are cons for me. It creeps me out. He can wolf out, and he's described as being blonde, which is not good. I'm not going to read this quote because secondhand embarrassment, but it's on the screen for our viewers.
Tamlin is also a very quick pass. I
Oh.
absolutely despise him. So he is the Edward Cullen of fairy smut.
Okay. I almost put the other one on here, but I decided not to. I almost put Reese on here, but I don't really like him, so
Yeah,
I didn't put him on there.
Reese is the most forgettable man of all time. He starts one book with a personality, and then book 2 and 3 is just a cardboard cutout.
Yeah, a horny cardboard cutout. Flycatcher from Fables.
Oh,
So his pros is that he is a prince. He likes animals. He's clean and tidy. He will clean a floor like no other. You don't have to clean your apartment ever. He is sweet and loyal. His cons, his real name is Ambrose. He eats bugs. He works as a janitor. So you're not exactly going to be rolling in it. And he's ugly. And the first thing that came to mind was, I am a prince and I'm fond of Briar Rose when Sleeping Beauty was asleep and Prince Charming was going to kiss her to wake her up, but she didn't wake up because he doesn't love her. So Flycatcher had to step in.
I really like Flycatcher. I think he's a great wee guy. Actually, no, I will smash.
You'll smash
Definitely.
him?
Yeah,
Okay.
because also look at his friends.
Yeah,
He's
he
got like
does
one
have good
great
friends. Yes, he is very sweet. We know he's not my favorite character, but the one
Yeah,
I can't remember which one it was. It was like Homelands or yeah, I think it was Homelands where it was one of the longer ones and we went with Flycatcher and he had transformed because he had taken the armor from the Hanging Knight. I don't remember which volume that was. But that one was good. We got to see
yeah.
more of his personality and I found him very chivalrous in that one. Do you know which one I'm talking about?
I think so. Yes, it's just before the war kicks off
Yeah.
properly. Like
I
big
think it's
battle.
like volume 7 or 8.
Yeah,
I know 7 is Arabian Nights. 8, I don't know. Homeland's in there somewhere. But yes, he's from towards the end of the first arc. So we've
yeah,
got 4 smash and 4 pass. Clid. All right. Pros is that she's perceptive. This is Clid from both books, by the way,
yeah,
from Rebel's Creed and from Breach of Peace. She was only pictured on Breach of Peace, so she's
yeah.
kind of pretty. But she's perceptive. She rocks that duster like nobody else. Duster is trench coat. She is not afraid of dead bodies. Cons. She was written by Daniel Green, so I guess we know his taste in women. She smokes like a chimney, and her name sounds like a part of the female anatomy. So the trouble with solving a crime was there was never just one puzzle, not even in the most straightforward of cases. And a semicolon does appear in the book. That is not a proper use of a semicolon because not even in the most straightforward of cases is a dependent clause. So it should be either a hyphen or a comma. Just putting that out there. I hope my students and their parents never watch this, but if they do, I know how to use a semicolon.
Uh, this is a soft pass. I think she has too much baggage. She was just too focused on the case,
All right.
too obsessed with the small details.
And well,
Also,
no,
her,
she's I don't know. Do we want to spoil Breach of Peace? I was gonna say she's taken, but we know how that
yeah,
ends.
yeah, I was gonna say, and also her husband's pretty boring. So I don't want. I think she would just turn me boring. Because
Probably.
you hear about his past and he sounds really fun, and then you see him in book 1 and you're like, oh, who are you?
Okay. Winston from the evening and the morning. So he is the brother of the Lord. He knows where the party's at. He knows King Ethelred. which, I mean, Ethelred evidently was a terrible king. They call him Ethelred the Unready, but hey, he knows the king, and he gets basically whatever he wants. Cons, he's got an STD, he goes nuts, he poops in church, and he's Christian, like crazy Christian. And the quote from him is, "Shut up, you stupid bitch," because that came out of nowhere in the book.
Yeah, that's my favorite bit of that whole book. Just
I don't know. I think
yeah.
we know my favorite part when
Oh yeah.
Edgar's at the barn and he runs into that girl. You
Oh
remember?
that. Yes, I think there's also a bit where he runs it into her at the watering hole as well.
I think that's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Yeah, where he's bathing and she's like, "Ooh, looky there." Okay,
Uh, so Winston's family are also terrible.
they are.
So I think I would drink myself to a quick death if I was near him.
Okay.
So on that small thing, I think sadly have to pass.
Okay, so
Plus, he's too focused. He's too focused on the church and power. He wouldn't spend any time with me.
all right, so I just deleted the number I had and I've forgotten. So I think this makes a 6 pass and 4 smash. We'll go with that. Okay. So it is a no for Bishop Winston. All right, next one. Benvolio. So Benvolio is a peacemaker. He dislikes drama. He is loving and non-violent, but he is oblivious. I personally feel like he was the biggest victim of all, so he would have some serious PTSD left over from the family wars, and I feel that he is far too nice for his own good, and he's the archetype of the peacemaker, so what better line than "I do but keep the peace."
So this is a very quick smash because
Awesome.
Benvolio is one of my favourite Shakespeare characters. I absolutely adore him. I would just, you know that he would like if you got in any like fights, he'd be there to be like, calm down, it's fine. He'd be
Awesome.
there at your side at all times.
Okay, so we've got 5 smash and 6 pass. I think my counting's wrong, but that'll be alright.
Yeah.
Alright, that was a quick pass. Volodya Peshkov. So prose is he's a left. Oh yeah, Volodya's from Winter of the World by Ken Follett. Volodya is a leftist. He is the cunnilingus master. We know that. He is forgiving. He likes smart girls, and he is a world traveler. His cons are that he's a communist, and I put that in a question mark because I know you're a leftist, so I didn't know if that was a pro or a con for you.
Yeah.
He never condemned the actions of the Red Army. He was excited by the sound of a woman peeing, and when the twist came for him to learn about his father, he was in some serious denial. And I can't remember if he or his girlfriend had been the one to say this, but he said, "If Americans can have all this, why would they want to be communist?"
I think Volodya is a smash because I can change him.
Yeah, I remember you
But no,
saying.
yeah,
I remember you
Volodya was
saying he was your favorite character.
yeah, he was the best in that book. Like I'm quite lukewarm on book two, but my favorite
Yeah.
parts were Volodya just
Ben
because he's
did not
so
like book 2, guys. You say lukewarm, like you didn't like it. Be honest.
yeah. It was a 2.5 3 star. It fluctuates, but
Yeah.
Volodya was like the bright light in that book of very dull characters.
Awesome. So we got a smash. It looks like we're at 6 and 6. Next one. Henry VIII from the other Boleyn girl. Um, so that's Eric Bana. I do love me some Eric Bana, but I don't like that he wasn't a redhead. So he is the King of England. He is the beast in the sack, and he dances like no other. His cons is that he is a tyrant, he is a slut, he has syphilis, and he is a definite nonce because Mary was, what, 13 at the start of that novel when he started hitting on
Yeah.
her? And then this is something, I feel like he was very vapid in that novel. So this is a quote of him talking to John Seymour. "I want to give you a little carved stool from my privy chamber, a pretty little piece from France. I hope you will like it." I feel like that's the most he ever thought in that book.
So I would put Tyrant and a Slut as a pro, but I'm sadly definite nonce is a definite deal breaker for me.
Okay. All
So
right.
that he's definitely in hell with the passes.
Yes, definitely. All right.
Him
Next
and
one.
Bishop Winston could be friends.
Yes, they could. They would be. I bet you. All right. So I know this is the second to last one. I'm gonna call her Lady of the Lake. I don't know how to pronounce her name.
Yeah.
How do you pronounce her name? Do you know?
Nimue?
Okay, I've been saying Nimue or Nimue.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll call her Lady of the Lake because that's awesome. She is feisty. We are going to do a slight spoiler. She doesn't need Roe versus Wade. She doesn't need it. She's got that ergot,
Yeah.
even though it was an anachronism. And she is the OG Golden Eye. OG means original
Yeah.
gangster. I don't know if you have that slang in Britain. Her cons is
Yeah.
that
I think.
she's. You do?
Yes, I think we I didn't know I didn't know it stood for original gangster, but
Yeah.
I knew we just say OG.
Yeah. So she is bitter. Has a potty mouth and she likes to spit too, which is kind of gross. She is a little humorous. And then I like this quote: "One of those soldiers made me pregnant when he raped me, but I got rid of the little monster with ergot." I think them knowing about ergot back then is a bit of an anachronism because
Yeah.
what ergot would do to you, it would give you St. Anthony's fire. And I know it was also a big factor in the Salem witch trials. Um, minor flaw, minor flaw. Who knows? Just little anachronism.
Yeah. She's a smash. I love
Yes,
Nimue.
I knew it. All right.
She would go into you could go to battle together. She's a druid.
Oh yeah.
She cares about culture. She hates the Saxons, and everyone hates the Saxons.
So I don't know. Like I know the Anglo-Saxons. So this is before the Saxons became Anglo-Saxons.
Yeah, so the Angles and the Saxons kind of came about the same time, and then they all just kind of merged, and then the Anglos and Saxons became one. But the Saxons are like they aren't because they're like from France and Germany, but they came like almost like Viking raiders. They came, they settled, and they slowly but surely took over.
Okay. All right. So this is gonna be the deal breaker. We've got 7 smash, 7 pass. I'm
Ooh.
almost scared to hit the button because I feel like this is gonna be a fail. But here we go. Edgar. So from the Winter in the Morning, I don't think they ever gave him a last name. He is a Viking slayer. He is anti-slavery. He's very good at math, and he can build one heck of a boat. His con is that he can't read, at least as at the start of the novel. His carpet doesn't match the drapes, and you described him as a wet blanket. And then this
Yes.
quote, we were like literally just talking about it. Um, the lady who marries, well, she's not a lady, she was a 15-year-old slut. She goes to him, gropes him, and says, "Your hair is a different color down there, gingerish."
I, although he's a wet blanket, he could build a mean church. So I think because he's also friends with Alfred and is it Ragnar?
Yeah, Ragna's who he,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So I could become
I
friends with
almost put
them.
her on here, but I didn't.
Yeah, he could build me a church while I sit and drink and talk with them. So it's a smash.
Okay, so we got 8 and 7. So I smashed 9 or 8, I don't know, we lost count on yours, and passed 7. You smashed 8 and passed 7. So
Ooh.
we were worried we were going to have the same ones. I think, Ben, you were a little bit more creative than I was because I may have been doing this while my students were working, but I get bored sometimes. So we passed the same number and probably smashed the same number. But I have a bonus round for you.
Ooh.
Would you smash? I just love that meme so much. What do you think?
It's great. Yes, definitely.
Okay.
He's my one true love.
Yes. All right. I love the D's nuts, guys. I make that joke in my class all the time. So that is the end of Smash and Pass.
Perfect.
Okay, so we're gonna leave you with this beautiful image of my friend here. I think we should give him a name real quick before we do our outro.
He looks like a Simon.
Simon?
Yeah.
Huh. We'll name him. I was thinking Billy, so he can be a Simon William. So we
Yes.
will say goodbye to you all. We will say goodbye to Simon William. I am not sure when this video will be up, but we are going to edit it, and this will be, drumroll, Ben's first ever booktube video. As you can see, he's a very well-read man, and we had fun, didn't we?
Yeah, no, it was great. I had like great laugh.
I think
I
this is the
look
first time,
forward to more of these challenges.
and this is the first time we've ever video chatted. We've voice chatted before, but never video
Yeah.
chatted. And I'm pretty sure that Ken Follett was one of the first things we ever talked about on Larry's server, right?
Yeah, because I wanted to talk. I hadn't read
Yeah.
Follow Giants, but I wanted to pick it up, and you were like, read it, and then my journey with that beautiful
Yes.
man's books
Began. Okay, guys, so that's it for us. Wave goodbye, Ben.
Ta-ta for now.
Goodbye. So keep reading, keep writing, keep loving words, and I will see you next time. Bye.